A sense of morality is definitely important to Sigma men because it gives them a basic framework to navigate the complexities of life. Unlike some who may rely on gut or emotional impulses to guide their ethical compass, Sigma men approach morality from a decidedly rational perspective. They prioritize logic and objective reasoning when deciding what is right and what is wrong, and often draw conclusions based on empirical evidence and factual analysis rather than subjective feelings. This tendency distinguishes them because they firmly believe in the power of rational judgment over fleeting emotions. While this approach may make others think they are aloof, Sigma males are by no means insensitive. Beneath their pragmatic exterior lies a deeply personal understanding of morality that is intricately woven into their identities. They have their own values and principles honed through introspection and intellectual consideration. This internal moral code is not simply a reflection of social norms or expectations, but a product of their personal journey to distinguish between truth and justice. Additionally, Sigma males often question conventional norms and paradigms and forge their own path based on what they believe is inherently right and just. This independence of thought and action underscores their commitment to authenticity and integrity, even if it means deviating from mainstream ideologies. They prioritize internal coherence and consistency in their moral convictions and value intellectual honesty and clarity in their ethical reasoning. So, while Sigma males may seem unusual to some, Sigma males approach life with deep purpose and conviction. They navigate moral dilemmas with a combination of intellectual rigor and personal integrity, striving to defend principles that resonate deeply with their understanding of truth and justice. Their moral compass is based on an unwavering commitment to rationality and a relentless pursuit of what they believe is ethical and right, regardless of social expectations or fleeting emotional influences. Everyone has their own inner morality, but for some these values and virtues are truly and deeply important. Not everyone has the same standards of virtue and inner beliefs, so it's important to know where each person stands. Some people's morality comes from a more logical perspective, while for others it comes from an emotion that gives them a strong sense of right and wrong. Some people base their morals on the people around them, so they are not so rooted in their personal beliefs and feelings. Knowing more about a Sigma man's personality can really help reveal their virtues and who they really are. For a Sigma man, being virtuous simply means pursuing what is right and not letting others influence that decision. It means standing up for what they believe in and fighting for what is truly right and just. They see a virtuous person as brave enough to fight for their beliefs and stand up to injustice in the world. They don't see that it should be based on emotion. They just have enough courage to stand up for what they know is just and true. Honesty is a big part for them because a dishonest person cannot be truly virtuous and moral. Sigma men consider honesty one of the most important values a person can have, and it shows that a person can be trusted. That is why they themselves strive for honesty and do not like to pretend or lie to people. For them, being a good person means working hard and giving value to the world around you. That is why they spend so much time spreading knowledge and truth to those around them. The ability to make a difference by eliminating ignorance is a Sigma value, and for them it certainly has more to do with their morals than people realize. In their opinion, this is a sign that they care about others and are trying to do something good in their lives that can actually change the world around them. Where their morals come from, Sigma males don't base their morals on their guts or the feelings of others, not in the way people expect. This does not mean that their feelings cannot in some way relate to its morality. They just don't want them to control their choices and beliefs. Instead, they want to be more specific in their choices and believe in following a certain moral code. This code often comes from logic as well as their intuition and evolves over time. They believe in using data to reach their conclusions and list facts and differing opinions over time. For Sigma, knowledge is a big part of their life, so it is also related to their morals and virtues. They believe in honesty and integrity with people and fighting for what is right. Why they don't base morality on emotion. This is why their morality comes from practicality and logic rather than emotion. For Sigma, emotions are less reliable and can make their actions more selfish and less rational. They see emotions as broad, and so they don't really think it's right to base morality on emotions. Therefore, their moral beliefs do not change often or from moment to moment. The only time they change these beliefs is when they have thought long and hard about it and come up with something that makes more sense and logic to them. Their emotions come into the equation a little more than they realize or want to admit, but they don't dictate their choices alone. Sigma uses logic and reason to figure out his inner morals and values. They have a complex inner mind and their thoughts are very personal and complex. They use these complex thoughts to examine facts and information and draw their own logical conclusions. This leads people to question the morality of Sigma, but they would be wrong. Although they may not have morals based on feelings and gut feelings, they are guided by things that are certain and concrete. They don't change these beliefs based on how they feel at any given moment. Instead, they are very entrenched in who Sigma is and what they are sure of. What Sigma thinks is right or wrong. They spend a lot of time figuring it out before coming to any final conclusions. This is because of the thought and time spent to be sure of what they believe. They spend so much time and energy analyzing data and ideas because they want to be sure before jumping to conclusions. They care about being precise and accurate in everything, which is often where their morals come from. Why they base their morality on logic. Their moral point of view. They make choices that are much more logical than emotional, but still related to trying to help people in a positive way. They may not make decisions based on how their actions affect someone's feelings, but rather how it affects their well-being and future. They believe that their actions will not harm anyone in a more logical and practical way, instead of bothering them. While others try to avoid hurting people's feelings, Sigma often feel that honesty and what they believe is right and good is much more important. Why they stand up for their beliefs. Sigma males stand up for what they believe is right and don't let fear or expectation stop them. It certainly helps them fight for their beliefs instead of letting other people's feelings or wishes get in the way. For some people, the focus of Sigma may seem a bit insensitive, but for them it is important to follow their own goals and beliefs and not be influenced by others. This is a big reason why Sigma does not waver in his knowledge and beliefs, because it is something that comes from his own minds and morals, not from other people. Although they may not be emotionally expressive people, they genuinely want to help others however they can. This is often much more practical than emotional as they focus on these types of needs to truly make a difference in the lives of others. They try to use their natural problem-solving skills to find ways to help those around them. They believe that if they can help someone, they should do everything in their power to achieve it, even if helping may be difficult. Sigma still believes that they should do their best. They have their limits and they don't want to be nice. But sometimes they ignore those limits to help someone who really needs it. Conclusion. Sigma men also believe that the idea of freedom and independence is valuable and important. In their opinion, freedom goes beyond mere autonomy. It embodies the essence of personal responsibility and self-determination. For Sigma men, the concept of freedom is closely intertwined with their morality, as they passionately fight for the rights of individuals to make informed decisions and find their own path in life. This principle resonates deeply with their belief in fairness and justice, driving them to pursue goals that promote equality and opportunity for all. Their commitment to freedom is not only theoretical but also practical, evident in their actions as they strive to break down barriers and empower those around them. Sigma men see social restrictions as obstacles to personal growth and social development, which leads them to challenge restrictive norms and support inclusive policies that promote innovation and individual expression. Furthermore, their commitment to freedom is intertwined with a broader social responsibility. They recognize that true freedom requires a fair distribution of resources and opportunities, which leads them to support initiatives that aim to bridge socioeconomic gaps and promote equal access to education and opportunity. Striving for a just and equal society, the men of Sigma are firm in their principles and unwavering in their commitment to justice and responsibility. They envision a world where every individual can flourish without fear of oppression or discrimination, where diversity of thought and expression is seen as essential to social progress. After all, for Sigma men, the pursuit of freedom is not just an aspiration, but an integral part of their moral compass that guides their actions and shapes their interactions with the world. Their belief in individual autonomy and integrity is a beacon of hope and inspiration, inspiring others to embrace their unique identities and pursue their aspirations with courage and conviction. Fundamentally, Sigma man's defense of freedom is based on a deeply held belief in the inherent dignity and worth of every human being. Their vision of a better world is one of freedom and justice, where people have the right to live full lives guided by their own moral compass. Protecting freedom and independence, Sigma males strive to leave lasting justice, equality, and the opportunity to inherit and build for future generations.